Going on there, everybody? This is your boy, man, up here to talk Houston Rockets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, game number 2 tonight. Now, as you may know, excuse me, I'm gonna wipe off my camera. There we go. As you may know, the Houston Rockets won game 1 by a score of 104 to 101. Now, like I've always said, this is not a knock on the Timberwolves because the Timberwolves have good defense. This is more of a knock on the Houston Rockets, I guess you could say. Yes, we got the win, and I'm happy for it. Glad my Rockets got the win. Glad they got the win. But what I'm trying to get at is if it wasn't for Clint Capella and James Harden, we would have lost that game. Because basically, really, nobody else stepped up. Clint Capella with with 26 points. James Harden with, James Harden had 44. So that's 70 points right there between those two. And the rest of the team scored 34 points. Now, I think it needs to be spread out more evenly. I know Chris Paul didn't have a good game, and that's cool. It happens. Just hope it don't happen anymore, but it happens. That's just the way it is. Excuse me. We need a little bit more spread out. Now, as you probably saw in the thumbnail there, let me go ahead and get to that. Oh, before I get to that, I forgot. What it do is my other channel. It's a channel that I created where I could talk about any and everything. It doesn't have to be the topic that I started with in the thumbnail or whatever. But what it do is my other channel. Please go ahead and subscribe to that channel. It's just the link is in the description box there. Go ahead and subscribe to that. Whenever I think of something that I want to talk about, I go ahead and just jump on that at random, I guess you could say. I tried to do it on certain schedule, but right now that doesn't seem to be working out for me. But like I said, the link is in the description box. Go ahead and subscribe to that one. Hit all notifications so every time I go live, you'll be right there with me in the chat with me, talk about some things. Now, back to Clint Capella. As you probably saw in the thumbnail there, some shoes that were sent to him by I can't think of the guy's name right now, but the star of Black Panther. Some Wakanda shoes. Because Clint Capella, he balled out. Even though Clint Capella is from Switzerland, then he grew up in London, or vice versa. One or two, I forget exactly. But the man balled out like crazy the other day. So, I think that was a Friday or Thursday or whatever. No, that was Sunday. No, Sunday. Excuse me. It was game 1 on Sunday. The man balled out. He balled out, and he got sent some shoes. Now, if he keep balling like that, you know he's due for a huge contract coming up, and we can't do it without him. So, he keep balling like that, he's gonna get that huge contract. It's just what it is. Now, today is game 2, later on tonight, about 8:30, 8 o'clock Central Time, Texas time. Now, with that being said, Ryan Anderson is supposed to make his comeback tonight. Not 100% sure if it's going to happen, because there was speculation that it might not happen, and if it do happen, he's going to be on a limited minute basis, which is fine. Now, also too, what I think is this here. We need more of a steady diet of everybody tonight. Not just one main person, then a secondary person, like it was in game 1. Because you don't want to give your opponent hope that they can beat you. Now, like I said before, it's not a knock on the Minnesota Timberwolves at all, but you don't want to give them hope. And they got a whole bunch of hope right now. Their spirits are uplifted. To them, they got a moral victory. And you don't want to give nobody a moral victory against you. What you want to do is show them they can't handle you. They're not ready for you. That's what you want to do. Excuse me. And so with game two tonight in Houston, I'm predicting that the Rockets is going to have a steady diet of everybody at least 10. I ain't gonna say everybody, but at least a good 6 players, 10 points or more. Because the other night in game one, the Rockets was like 9 for 35 or something like that behind the 3 point line. Now, I'm not a big fan of shooting a lot of threes, and I'm not opposed to shooting a lot of threes, I guess you could say. I'm not for it or not against it. But what I do know is that I say it all the time. If it's not working for you, you got to try other things. You got to do other things. You know, uh, drive to the basket. James Harden was going crazy. He was driving to the basket a lot. He hits, I want to say like 6 of those threes. I forget exactly. I got to look up the numbers. But he hit like 6 of those threes. And it just kind of amazing to me that no one kind of got to the rim. Well, the three ball's not falling. Let's do something else. I mean, I know the coach's philosophy is shoot a lot of threes. And I get that. But I do think that the Rockets we need to come to the realization if the shot's not falling, do something else. Because like I said, you don't want to give your opponent the mind process, the thought process, I guess you could say, that they're going to win. Because like I said, with the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're not a bad team. They're a good defensive team. And you don't want to, like I said before, you don't want them to get the notion that they can beat you. So what I think the Rockets should do now is say, okay, if the three ball's not falling, how about, we dish it out for some assists, some mid-range two, or like Chris Paul is known to do a lot. And the coach be getting on him for taking those mid-range twos, which I think is crazy, but whatever. uh, excuse me. Also, too, I also think that the role players need to step it up a little bit more. You can't just keep having your superstar out there going crazy. You don't want him to be like to exert all his energy. Because if you're trying to win the championship, you're gonna need everything you got. We all know that, Houston Rockets fan. We all know that. We won 2 championships before. And you don't want your star players. It has to be an even balance. Just like it was before for us in the finals and the playoffs before when we won our titles. It has to be an even balance. Everybody has to do their part. Now, like I said, sometimes your shots don't fall. That's the way it is sometimes. It's how it goes. But you got to come up with other ways to win the game. You can't just keep relying on James Harden to make things happen. Now, like I said, I know Chris Paul was doing his thing. He had a bad night. It happens, and I get it. With all the turnovers, he had like, 5 turnovers, I think, something like that. He had a lot of turnovers, and that's not Chris Paul like. So, I got to honestly admit, we escaped with that win. We really did. Because if you think about it, man, like I said before, I'm going to say this again. It's not a knock on the Timberwolves, but if you think about it, they was not supposed to be close. They was not supposed to be close with us. If we would have hit at least half of those threes, it probably been like a one. We probably would score like 140 or somewhere around there. It would if we would have hit at least half of those threes. And that's what that whole point that I'm trying to make right there. You can't just sit here and keep jacking them threes knowing they're not falling. There's other ways to win the game. Some tough defense, some penetration to the rim, some mid-range shots, some blocks, some assists, some rebounds. I mean, a whole bunch of things. You can't just keep relying on your superstar in James Harden and Clint Capella. I got to admit, he is a superstar on the team. Don't care what anybody say he is. You can't keep relying on your superstars. That's why it's not 1-on-5, 3-on-5, or whatever. It's 5-on-5. Everybody has to contribute. And I noticed too when James Harden was getting a rest, it's like we couldn't put the Minnesota Timberwolves away. They even took the lead a couple of times. And you can't do that. You can't do that. They made the playoffs for a reason. You know, they made the playoffs because they're a good team. Every team that makes the playoffs in any sport is a good team. It ain't about luck. It's not about luck. Let's just be real about it. And if you give the team the notion that they can beat you, you don't want them on that natural high thinking that they got you. You don't want that. Because at the end of the day, guess what's going to end up happening? We're going to get embarrassed and get knocked out in the first round against an 8 seed. And with all the success we had all season long, you don't want that. So with all that being said, what I think we need to do as Houston Rockets fans is show team support. Show our support for our team. This is not James Harden team. This is not Clint Capella team. This is not Tim Ferreira, or however you say the man's name who just bought the team. I cannot pronounce his name for nothing. I'm trying to think of it. I can't pronounce his name. This is not his team. This is our team. As Rockets fans, this is our team. This is the city of Houston team. Now, of course, I know there's fans that's not even in the state of Texas that are Rockets fans, and I get that. But that's why I say this is not their team. This is our team. Houston Rockets fans, this is our team. Show them your support. Now, I did see every fan in attendance will get a Run as One playoff shirt. They already got them, sitting over the seats in the stands. Laying in the seats, I should say. So when you get to the game, put that shirt on. Stand up, support your team. Doesn't matter if we're down. Show your team support. Show your spirit for the team. Let them know we have your back. They're not in this alone. We got this. Because to me, that was almost an embarrassment that we almost lost that game. For us to be the #1 team in the NBA this season, for us to barely win this game. We need Trevor Ariza. We need, if Ryan Anderson does play, we need Ryan Anderson. We need Gerald Green. We need Nene. PJ Tucker. I know Luke Balmute is out, at least for the first round. He might come back second round. That's still yet to be determined on, how long he might be out. But we need all of these guys. PJ Tucker, Luke Balmute when he comes back, of course. Gerald Green, Nene. We need all of y'all to step up. Even Chris Paul, because he had a bad night. He scored like 15 points or something like that. He had like, 4 or 5 assists, something like that as well, too. We need all of y'all to step up. Show your team support, your team spirit. We need it. It has to happen. Because if we make it out of this round and we get to round 2, it's going to be between Oklahoma and Utah, I think. I got to look that up. I'm not 100% sure on that part. But I forget who we might face in the next round. But we got to show our team support. Let them know they have. That we have their backs. Now, with all that being said, I do also want to say to Clint Capella, that man balled out. He balled out. He played good defense. I mean, he balled out. He balled out. You got to give the man his props. He did his thing. So, with that being said, and then, of course, James Harden, he was not for the great to lose this game. I mean, that's what your superstar on your team does. That's what your star of your team does. He wasn't going to lose this game. And that's a good thing, I guess you could say. Excuse me. So, but we can't just depend on him. We don't want him to be worn out later on in the playoffs. Not saying we're not going to make it to the finals or anything like that. I believe we are. I don't know who we're going to face, but I believe we are. And I believe we're going to win this thing. But it takes a team effort. So we need everybody to step up. Excuse me, sorry. So we need everybody to step up. It's just what it is. Now, with all that being said, tonight, Game 2, Houston Rockets versus Minnesota Timberwolves. If Ryan Anderson does play, I know if he is playing, he's going to play a limited minutes, get back into game playing conditioning. Because we all know practicing is not the same as playing in the game. It's not the same. You're going to be real winded. So I think if he does play, be a limited minutes, he's going to be. I think the Rockets going to win this one. Of course, I'm always going to say the Rockets going to win. But I think the Rockets going to win this one. I'm going to say 130 to 110. 130 to 110. We're going to get back to our dominant selves. We're going to show the world what we can do. We're going to show the world what we can do here. So, with all that being said, I think that Houston Rockets need our support. We got to give them our support. We got to show them what we can do, what we got as fans. Oh, and one more thing. I didn't know Clint's middle name was Nduba. I didn't know that. I was looking at that. I was looking at the team roster, and I'm looking at it right now. Middle name is Clint Nduba Capella. I think I said that right. I might be wrong. But I'm looking at this, and besides Clint Capella, besides Chris Paul and James Harden, Renee, Ryan Anderson, Gerald Green, Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza, Joe Johnson. Excuse me. We need all of y'all to step up. We need everybody to step up. PJ Tucker. Like I said, I know Lupa Mute, he's out for the first round. We got RJ Hunter, Tariq Black, who plays limited minutes. I think is crazy. Also, I cannot pronounce this guy's name. He's a power forward. Chinanu Oenuka. I know I said that wrong, but yeah. I know I said that wrong, but yeah, okay. Oh, man. That was funny. Yeah, I just embarrassed myself trying to say that man's name. But, so, with all that being said, I think the Houston Rockets need our support as fans. We cannot let them down. The game is tonight at 8:30. Wear your red. Wear your Rockets black. The Rockets black jersey. I have a couple of them. Wear your Rockets red or the white. It doesn't matter. Show your team support. Let the team know that we're there, that we're on the court with them. Let them know that we're on the court with them. Because as a fan, we cheer them on. We cheer them on. This is our team. We cheer them on like crazy. And another thing, I'm trying to find it real quick. I saw something that's kind of surprised me. We shut down Karl Anthony Towns. That's not going to happen again. We know that. At least I seriously doubt it's going to happen. He's going to come out and be on fire. So we got to let them know, hey, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. So, with all that being said, I think that the Houston Rockets is going to win this one. Like I said, I think of a score like 130 to 110. Let me change something back real quick here. All right. So, excuse me. I think the Rockets is going to win this one. And I think we need to show our support for our team. Everywhere I go, I'm always wearing my Houston Rockets stuff. Now, I will admit, I do not wear my jersey that I got signed by James Harden. I do not wear that jersey. I have it framed up. As a matter of fact, I should show it, but I'm not going to show it right now. I'll show it later. Rockets win tonight. I'll show it tomorrow. No, I'll show it on Saturday. Put it like that. Yeah. Because that'll be the next game. I'll show it on Saturday. I'll wear it on Saturday. I already talked with Ed Huncho with All Sports, to have me on his show, so that way, I wear it then. But anyway, back to what I'm saying here. Now, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but we got to show our support for our team. Even when I go to work tonight, guess what? I wear my Houston Rockets stuff, a beanie, a hat, a shirt, or whatever. I wear Houston Rockets. I show that I'm a Rockets fan. It doesn't matter. We got to show our support for our team. Now, one more thing, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I do think Chris Paul is going to bounce back. It happens. You have a bad night. It happens. And sometimes when you're out there doing your thing, sometimes your best judgment can be overshadowed, by the mistakes you was having throughout the day. But I think tonight he's going to have a better game. Let's all root for him. Let's go. Let's lead this here into a Game 2 victory. So now, I want to go ahead and end this stream by saying, let's go Rockets. Let's take care of business. I do predict this series is going to be, we're going to win the series 4-1. Hey, hopefully it's a sweep when we get some rest. But I do think we're going to win this series 4-1. As a fellow co-worker of mine, Rockets fan, he said 4-2. Not knocking it. Like I said, Timberwolves not a bad team. But I think we're going to win it 4-1. Hopefully it's a sweep though, but that's just my prediction. Anyway, I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here. This is your boy, man, Chunk of the Deuce. Like I said, the link is in the description box to my other channel, What It Do. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel as well too, and then hit that bell for all notifications. So that way, whenever I do a video on that, since it seems to be pretty random, I try to do a schedule on that, but since it seems to be pretty random, that way you can get it and we could talk about things. Excuse me, sorry about that. So, with all that being said, this is your boy, man up. I'm Chunking the Deuce. I'll holler at you. Go Rockets.